And now just over a minute played here in the first. Now here's Suggs. Lewis covering. And it's blocked. And they'll keep possession. Pass to Coffee. And another basket for Seattle.
Poor design there defensively. They know he's a knockdown shooter from that spot.
See, this is what analytics don't take into account. Some guys thrive in the mid-range. Really depends on the shooter. It's actually kind of lazy.
Wagner passes to Lively. Wagner outside. Passes it to Herrera. No good with the triple. For Seattle, they've gotten their first 3 shots to go in for them to start off this game. Nash outside. Fires for 3. And another 3 for Seattle.
And you can see that backcourt just setting the tone for the entire team.
Wagner. Passes to Lively. Top of the key. Second chance effort. Out of bounds as Orlando keeps possession.
Still Magic ball.
And here in the first, approaching 3 minutes played. Clock at 6. Herrera passes to Wagner. To the middle. Second shot opportunity. Lively, that's good.
Boy, he is looking confident. Love how they're using him so far.
Yeah, when he gets engaged this early in the game, it's bad news for the defense. He can roll this start throughout the rest of the game.
Lewis outside. Fires away from outside. Second chance shot. Robinson Earl, no good.
Look, the defense know how dangerous he can be, and they guarded him perfectly.
Now, here's Suggs. He's guarded closely. First quarter play and just over 3.5 minutes in. To the paint, here's Lively. And he takes the fantastic lead pass up strong for the slam.
And really just unselfish basketball on the interior. That's the kind of pass a coach loves to see.
Wagner against Lewis. Pass to Coffee from deep three-point land. Herrera grabs the board. The Magic trail by 4. Suggs in the corner. The pass to Lively. Good ball movement here by the Magic. Pass to Wagner. Pass to Herrera. Pass to Wagner. No good. Seattle leading by 4. Nash with the screen on Wagner. Trying to get something going. He dents the rim with a two-handed slam. Wow.
And one step ahead of the defense with that solid screen.
And then, Greg, the monster dunk to finish it off.
Oh, great chemistry on display. He understood where to put the screen in order to free up his teammate.
Seattle has gone 2 of 4 from beyond the arc to start the game. Lewis against Wagner. The 3. Lewis gets the bucket. Lewis has got 8 points.
Pick works well there. Not much resistance from the D.
Yeah, that just comes down to a lack of effort. The defender has to do a better job fighting through the screen.
Here's Wagner. After 2 misses to start the game, he's on the board with that shot made.
And it's all about the release when you shoot the floater.
Lewis against Wagner. Now the pass to Nash. Here's Coffey. He kicks it to Lewis. From deep three-point territory. Rebound by the Magic. They couldn't put the pieces together, losing that last matchup with Boston.
Yeah, tough game on the road. The guys you're defending, obviously comfortable shooting in their own building. You've got to find a way to break their rhythm.
Well, they weren't fighting through screens. Their closeouts and rotations were late. You name it, and let's just say they didn't do it on defense.
And pushing it up, here's Seattle. He gets it in there. He's got 5.
They've wasted no time settling into their offense.
The Magic trail by 9. Here's Suggs. Still yet to score. Pass to Wagner. And he drives in, and the layup falls.
Great job of screening there. Nice job to take it to the rim and get the finish.
Passes it to Nash. And the 3 ball is good. Nash has got 5 now.
I like their focus coming in. Terrific execution so far.
Couldn't come up with a much better start than this. They just have to keep it going.
Count the bucket, and he's got a free throw coming up as well.
And what can you say about Suggs? A natural-born leader, very unselfish, and great vision.
Daniels is checked in for Herrera. And still so much, Greg, to learn about these teams. When do we get a sense of a team's true identity?
Well, not this early in the season. I'd say at least a quarter of the way through it. That's when you kind of get a sense of a squad's chemistry.
Nash, the pass to Coffey. Fires from 18. And another basket for Seattle.
Give them credit. Offensively, they've been the more efficient team.
Yeah, coach has to be thrilled. You can draw up all the X's and O's you want, but guys have to go out there and execute with enthusiasm.
Now, here's Wagner. 9-point game his last outing. That one's all good. Now he's 3 for 5 from the field.
They should continue to get the ball inside. The defense struggling to contain them.
Pass to Robinson Earl. Here's Coffey. The pass to Robinson Earl. And again, Seattle with the triple.
Yeah, they're relying on their three-point shooting and getting pretty good results.
And it'll be Orlando with their first time out of the game right here. This game against Seattle is the first time they've met this year.
And with this matchup being an East versus West affair, it'll be the first of only 2 meetings between the teams.
As a player, these ones are fun. You get to match up with guys you rarely see.
Making a change here. Let's take a look at last year's leading shot blockers. You don't want one of these guys in front of you when you're coming down the lane. Orlando with the ball. It's a 10-point game. Boy kicks to long. Pass to Wagner. Out of bounds. Seattle will take possession.
A moment here to see some numbers for Nash. Last season, he played outstanding. He was around 21 points per game last year, 8 rebounds, and over 2.5 blocks. And he's such a presence for them inside.
No question. He blocks shots, controls the glass, does everything asked of him and more.
A shot like that is a polite way to say, hey, coach, bench me.
Not only a terrible shot, but also at the worst possible time. That's just not a good idea.
They set the pick. Wagner passes to Lively. Good work there as it goes. Lively's got 8 points.
They're scoring boatloads of buckets. It's raining buckets from inside.
We've got 1:55 left in the first quarter of the game.
He's going to put that one in his scrapbook. Insane dunk.
And now they're starting to rub it in. Build up a lead, and here we go, baby. It is showtime. Nice job capturing the moments on the AT&T 5G Slam Cam. And it's good for 2.
And defensively, they are on their heels every time the ball comes inside.
Seattle leading by 8. Now Lewis, he's got 10. Fires from way outside. It's hauled in by the Magic. Lively's got 4 rebounds in this game. Here's McDaniels. And it's Seattle with the rebound. Their last game, a win against San Antonio, looking to carry that into this one.
And that one was all about offensive execution, running your plays, picking your spots.
And no team is going to shoot 50% every night, but this team has the right approach. When the shots are falling, they can light it up.
Unwilling to let up, even for a moment. That's his killer instinct, just fanning the flame.
Always plays hard until the final whistle, no matter what the situation is.
Here's Coffey. He's defended by Wagner. Driving to the basket. And Coffey gets it to go. And now a 12-point Seattle lead. Wagner with it. 6 points for him. Another miss by Orlando. Here's Coffey. He's defended by Wagner. And they recover it. There's Nash with the 3. Traps in the tray. Nash has got At 8.
Yeah, they've built up this lead 3 points at a time.
We'll see if they can keep this pace. Not sure they can win it by relying on just the 3. Credit to him for trying to get that 3 right back. Missed the shot, but that's a fighter's mentality.
And so it's Seattle, finding a 15-point lead at the end of the quarter. They've had such great ball movement and shot selection, and it's led to a terrific field goal percentage. Right back after this break. And so far through one quarter, it's been a lopsided game. We'll see if that changes here in the second. And let's get your guys' take now on the hustle stats for Seattle.
The enthusiasm they've brought to their defense so far is something else. Going after shooters and really hustling to get their hands on shots.
And they've also done a great job turning defense into offense tonight, creating turnovers and capitalizing on the other end.
The Magic trail by 15. McDaniels is out there with Roy. Then there's Herrera. Then it's Wendell Carter. And it's Long in at the 1. That's the group starting the second quarter for the Magic. McDaniels passes to Roy. Back to McDaniels. Here's Herrera. And it's off from three-point range. And here's Nash. Last game with 30 points.
Ball is turned over.
And now let's take a look again at that incredible rejection.
And a block like that sends a message. One that says we're not giving up this lead.
The Magic on their way to the locker room earlier tonight, defending their home. Hi, and thanks for joining us on...
It's time to introduce the starting 5 for your
Welcome, everyone. Let's get ready for some NBA basketball. We'll have to keep our eyes on the center matchup. Greg, in this one, these two bigs bring so much to their respective teams.
Yeah, and remember when people thought centers were going extinct? Look around the league. There's so much talent at that position, including the two guys we get to watch here tonight.
Let's check out Seattle's starting lineup. They've got Lewis, and it's Coffey in at the 3, the small forward. Fades and shoots. Nash with the bucket.
And hitting the mid-range jumper here early gives the defense just another thing to think about.
Well, they better be thinking about him. I mean, we know how dangerous he is.
Passes to Herrera. He kicks it to Suggs. Wagner outside. First quarter of play, 1 minute played. Pass to Herrera. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Fires from 18. It's good. He makes his first shot of the game.
Watch out now. When this guy gets into a rhythm, it is something to behold.
Lewis against Wagner. Lewis passes to Robinson Earl. Gets the three-pointer to fall.
And he likes to get in a rhythm early. Nice triple.
And Wagner's got the ball here for the Orlando Magic. It's a three-point game. Wagner on the wing. And right away, they match it with a three-pointer of their own.
Wagner with the right back at your answer on the three. Pretty impressive right there.
Lewis outside. Nash. And Nash slams it in.
Man, what a pass that was there. He really, really relishes making the game easier for his teammates.
Now, Wagner, 9 points last game out. Poked away. Here in the first, just under 2.5 minutes played so far. Nash outside. Shoots a fader, and it's Seattle with another.
And early on, they look great. They've made all 4 of their shots to start this game.
Here's Herrera. Wagner outside. About 3 minutes gone here in the first quarter. And again, it's the Magic from deep.
Wagner, he'll find the wide open teammate more often than not. Heady player.
For Seattle, they've gone 4 of 4 to start. So a nice offensive rhythm to start here. And it's Nash at the elbow. Just under 3.5 minutes gone here in the first quarter. A three-pointer is right on target.
Impressive start here. That's 5 straight makes to start the game.
And there's the pass to Herrera. And he could not get that one to go. Out of contact, and he'll go to the line for 2.
And you don't ever want to get into the habit of letting the offense get to the rim.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. I mean, that's the message they were sending with that foul. Nothing easy inside, making it look effortless. Send this guy to the stripe, he's going to cash in more than not.
And here is Lewis. He's coming off an unbelievably high-scoring game. Coffee passes to Robinson Earl. And another 3 for Seattle. The Magic trailed by 5. Now, here's Suggs. Still scoreless. Here's Herrera. Tries again. No good at the rim.
And you can see the defenders afraid to kind of get in his way a lot of times when he's on his way to the basket. But on that one, they were there.
And it's Nash at the elbow. It's hauled in by the Magic. This game against Seattle is the first time they've met this year.
And with this matchup being an East versus West affair, it'll be the first of only 2 meetings between the teams.
And, you know, there's always a bit of a feeling out process in that first game between opponents. A lot different than when you've played a team you're familiar with.
So, Clark, looking back at the 2021 draft, Franz Wagner, the 8th overall pick.
And, you know, he very well might turn out to be the best of the bunch, Kevin. He's 6'9", really can shoot it. But I think his activity and playmaking, perhaps his best attributes. Creates for others as a 6'9" wing guy, and that's valuable for any team.
Fires the 3, and again, it's the Magic from deep.
And they've got to talk to each other on D there. Miscommunication, and now he's able to make a pay.
Pass to Lewis. With the screen on Wagner. Here's Lewis. And he goes big with the dunk right over Jalen Suggs.
And how about just floating to the rim on that slam?
Boy, when he gets up, I mean, he gets up.
Yes, he does. That's what we call helium. Yeast rising and helium floating.
Here's Herrera. It's hauled in by Coffey. Seattle has gone 3 of 4 on three-pointers in the first quarter, doing well from long range. Passes it to Nash. A fader, and that one drops. Nash has got 8.
Tell you what, he has been feeling it, guys, and the best game plan right now, it's elementary. Just keep feeding him. Let him eat.
Suggs with the ball. He has yet to score. Here's Lively, defended by Nash. Got loose. Pass to Herrera. Inside. Great D that time from Nash. Seattle leading by 4. Coffey passes to Lewis. A shake. And the call on the shot that sends him to the line. Well, we're clearly in the very early stages of the season. Clark, in your playing days, how important was it that your team got off to a good start?
Hey, look, you want to start well. There's no denying that. But it always isn't about wins and losses. It's about how you're playing early on, and also what kind of chemistry and habits are you establishing for the long run.
The free throw drops for Lewis. McDaniels, he's checked in for Orlando. And both free throws good for Lewis. The Magic trail by 6. Now Suggs hasn't made one yet. The pass to Lively. To the middle. And he jams it with authority.
And the one-hand slam just looks so pretty when it's in his hand and he's the one doing the slam.
Agreed. He is smooth as silk, even on a power finish.
Part of what makes him unique, guys, that combination of power and polish.
Here's Lewis. Nash drawing the double team. Some nice ball movement here by Seattle. And Coffey gets it to go.
And they are shooting the lights out from distance here early.
How do you stop this? I mean, it seems like they can't miss.
Pass to Lively. There's the pick. Wagner left side. The shot's good.
I'll tell you what, I'm not sure these guys can keep this up.
High-octane action for sure. Crowd-pleasing already.
And here is Lewis. Passes it to Nash. And again, Seattle with the triple.
They're getting a lot of their points outside the paint. 3 of their last 5 baskets are from three-point range.
Suggs passes to McDaniels. Takes it from 10, and it's Orlando with another. Now here's Lewis. Puts up a deep 3, and another 3 for Seattle.
Yeah, this looks like a pregame shoot-around with all the threes they're allowing.
2 minutes remaining in the first. 2 minutes.
Wagner with it. His second shot goes in, off to a good start, 2 for 2.
Wagner knows how to pick and pop, sets a solid screen, and then gets out of it quickly into the roll. roll to his shooting spot.
Here's Lewis. Lets it go. And another basket for Seattle.
And the story here, Kevin, early on is how well they've shot the basketball.
Very high percentage so far, and if you want to start a game hot, that's the way to do it.
And it'll be Orlando with their first time out of the game right here. They couldn't put the pieces together, losing that last matchup with Boston.
Hey, they had their opportunities, but let's face it, they choked from the line. Hard to win that way on the road.
Hey, knocking down free throws in a hostile environment is really about the battle of the mind.
Herrera passes to Long. 1:15 left in the first. And that one hits back iron.
Yeah, but the hand in the face, it's critical that you contest his shots every time down the floor.
Now here's Lewis. He's covered closely. Now Nash. He picked up 30 points in their last win against San Antonio.
And don't forget about the 4 blocks. Just a big all-around game, particularly on the defensive side.
And it goes down 2 points.
When you find yourself up double digits in the first quarter, you know you're doing something right.
Well, they're doing everything right. How about that? I mean, this could turn into a blowout very quickly.
Here's Long. Roy, a screen on Lewis. Here's Long. And the last shot at the buzzer doesn't go in for him. And so it's Seattle, holding on to an 11-point cushion as we get ready to take a break. Their shooting has been the big key. Their percentage from the field so far has been terrific. We've got more in store for you right after this. And glad to have you with us, folks. Second quarter of basketball. This game has not exactly been neck and neck, but plenty of time left in this one. Now let's take a moment to get your guys' take on the scoring so far for Seattle.
You know, right from the start, it seemed they got hot from three-point range, pulling apart the defense and racking up the points, too.
And another thing Coach will be thrilled with, the assist numbers, spreading the wealth and creating some offensive opportunities.
Here are the 5 for Seattle to start the second quarter. They've got Tyrese Halliburton. Nash is out there with Mobley. Then it's Lewis. And here's Nash. Lewis outside. Nash with the screen for Lewis. And finished off by Nash.
He's going to put that one in his scrapbook. Insane dunk.
And now they're starting to rub it in, build up a lead, and here we go, baby. It is showtime.
And why not? A little salt in the wound. The more plays they make like that, the more they'll have these guys reeling and on the ropes.
Roy misses. Seattle leading by 13. Now here's Lewis. Nash outside. Back to Lewis. Here in the second quarter with a little over a minute gone. And another 3 for Seattle.
And their balanced effort at both ends has hushed this crowd.
Yeah, you said the key word there, balanced. I mean, their big lead owes as much to their defense as their offense.
While there's a break in the action, let's take a look at the players who had the most steals in the league last season. 5th best, Jalen Suggs.
He showed such tremendous defensive instincts. Trust me, nobody wanted him guarding them last year.
Seattle has gotten all but one of their three-pointers to go down in this game. They've gone 7 of 8 so far. Pass to Nash from deep three-point territory. He let it fly, and he gets it.
Incredible stuff. Boy, was that deep. Yeah, that's 2 straight three-pointers they've allowed.
Here's Long. Lewis covering. Long passes to Roy. Orlando moving the ball around. Carter with a screen on Lewis. Now here's McDaniels. Lewis covering. McDaniels dishes to Roy. They can't stop the run with that one. Seattle leading by 19 points. Lewis with it. 10 points for him. And a little under 2.5 minutes gone by here in the second quarter. Launches from deep. They get the rebound. Halliburton, count it, good.
I like how Halliburton isn't afraid to get in there and get his nose dirty on the glass, beating out some other folks to get possession that time. Well done.
First trip to the free throw line for him tonight. The Magic making a switch here. And we've heard defensive-minded players, Greg, say, man, everything is a foul nowadays. You can't even touch the guy. You can't defend. Do they have a point?
It's getting tough, isn't it? I mean, you can't use your hands. You have to be set. It's almost like they want defenders to be traffic cones.
Now a timeout called by Orlando.
And they were in the top half of the league in terms of opponents scoring per game. I'm sure they would like to have gotten better, but at least they have something to build on.
And you just mentioned it. What a year it was for them on the glass. The sheer effort and energy they put into their rebounding was tremendous. And that one's good. By Herrera. He's got 8.
And with that one, he halts an 11-0 run by Seattle.
Quarter number 2, around 3 minutes gone by. Lewis outside. The 3-ball. That's good, and it's Halliburton with the assist. Lewis has got 13.
The ball movement on this run has been fantastic and is a big part of why they've been able to get these good looks.
Carter with a screen on Lewis. Suggs passes to Herrera. And so it's going to be a 3-second violation out there in the defense. This is his 3rd free throw attempt of the game.
And over the course of last year, he was up over 90%. And with a stroke like that, you see why.
And guys, the numbers don't lie. I mean, he was such a reliable presence at the free throw line all throughout last season.
And so he hits the technical free throw. Just under 3.5 minutes played here in the second quarter. Now the pass to Suggs. Carter sets the pick for Suggs. Out to the right wing. Here's Herrera. 9 points in the game so far. No good. That miss takes him to 3 for 7. Kent, the pass to Halliburton. Feeds it to Mobley. Fades. And another basket for Seattle.
And with the lead, I like the strategy here. Continue to get the ball to guys who can do something with it.
If it's working, keep working it. That's what I say. Keep the pressure on it.
Right now, I'd send it over to the sidelines and get a report from David Aldridge.
Thanks very much. Wendell Carter Jr. didn't break through in his first stop with the Bulls, but he's become a cornerstone player with the Magic. He says, I've definitely tapped into a different side of myself. Defensively, being able to guard 1 through 5. Just continuing to go up from there and helping my team. Kevin?
Good stuff, D.A. Thank you. Halliburton passes to Kent. Driving inside. Plays it up and banks it in.
Pick works well there. Not much resistance from the D.
Yeah, that's not the defense you need. You got to be tougher defensively.
Pass to McDaniels. His first shot coming late. That one's no good. 0 of 1 to begin the game. For Seattle, they've gotten nearly everything to fall for them here in the second quarter. They're a great 7 of 8 from the floor. Pass to Diallo. Back to Halliburton. Here's Kent. That's good, and it's Halliburton with the assist. Halliburton's got his 3rd assist on the night. The Magic have gone only 2 of 7 from the field since the second quarter got underway. Now McDaniels. Nothing on the board. Here's Suggs. A three-pointer off the mark.
Kevin, you can understand the shot selection. I mean, he wanted to go back at him and just came up short on the triple.
Mobley outside. Pass to Halliburton. Some nice ball movement here by Seattle. Took him no time at all on that one. He's got 8.
And this offense is in a perfect rhythm, and you can see how they're finishing their plays.
Boy, this is borderline ridiculous. I mean, every single attempt finding the bottom of the bucket.
And they get it. Mobley with the block. Out of bounds. Magic ball as Orlando keeps possession. And we got to take a second look to admire that outstanding block.
Those kinds of plays are the ones that get you on the lead and help keep you in front.
And the Magic making a change here. From the inbound. Good D by Mobley. And Halliburton's got the ball here for Seattle. They've only allowed 5 points in the quarter. The pass to Diallo. Passes it to Kent. Screen by Diallo. Pass to Kent. Back to Mobley. Shoots from the high post, and it's Seattle with another.
Really starting to find himself now, guys, after getting shut out in the first quarter.
And here is Suggs. He had a 12-point outing in their last game against Boston. Bounce pass Wagner. And looks like the illegal pick was set. Yep, that's right. That'll get their attention.
Hey, guys, point of emphasis for the league is to really crack down on illegal screens.
Yeah, you know, he might have gotten away with that a few years ago, but not anymore. No way. Now you've got to be stationary on those screens. No extra hips or elbows, or they'll call it.
And a wide open look for Halliburton. And another 3 for Seattle.
And really, as the three-pointers keep dropping, you get the sense that the frustration is mounting for the defense.
Yeah, and they either have been unwilling or unable to take that shot away.
Wagner passes to Lively to end the cold streak. And the layup is good. Lively's got 6 points.
Love when Wagner looks to set his guys up. This kid's a versatile swingman.
Pass to Diallo. And the pass to Mobley.
It's time to introduce the
Welcome, everyone. Thanks for tuning into 2K Sports. And on paper, at least, Richard, this game is a mismatch. But on any given night, I mean, you just never know.
That's exactly. it, Kevin. And while the underdog is extra motivated, the better teams sometimes let their guard down. That's a recipe for disaster.
Let's check out Seattle's starting lineup. They've got Nash, and it's Coffey in at the 3. In the turn. Over again by Orlando.
Ball goes to the away team.
The Orlando Magic coming to this one following the loss to the Celtics in Boston.
He just makes it look so easy on offense. Just, like, who takes pleasure in torturing defenses? He does.
Well, that's 2 really unproductive trips in a row, ending in turnover.
Lewis with the 3, buries the long-range jumper. Lewis has got 5.
Well, he is looking confident. Love how they're using him so far.
Yeah, when he gets engaged this early in the game, it's bad news for the defense. He can roll this start throughout the rest of the game.
And another basket for Seattle.
They've come out strong, 3 of their first 4 to start the game.
That'll be a 5-second call.
2 turnovers already in just the first few minutes. Clearly a bit careless. They need him to refocus.
Lewis gets the bucket.
And he's starting to show that killer instinct this quarter, looking to extend the lead.
Out of bounds. Seattle will take possession.
To the away team.
Nash with the screen on Wagner.
Displaying intensity right off the opening tip, especially on the offensive end.
They came out swinging, really setting the tone on offense, and the opposition has not been able to respond.
And that's life above the rim, courtesy of our AT&T 5G Slam Cam. Wagner against Lewis. Puts up a deep 3. Doesn't go there. Time. Out of bounds. Seattle will take possession.
Away team ball.
From outside the arc, hits it from 3-point range. Lewis has got 15.
Excellent all-around performance so far. The big lead.
They got off to such a hot start, and that can keep you energized throughout the whole game.
About a minute played so far here in the first. Buries it from 3-point range. 18 points for him.
And this is the game plan for him. He's a big part of their floor spacing.
Yeah, you got to know where he is at all times, especially when he's roaming around the perimeter ready to fire.
A 3 off the inbound, and again, Seattle with the triple.
And that's another basket for them. They have really come out blazing here. In the first.
Unable to get the ball in bounds, they get called for the 5-second violation. Gets it off, and it is good at the buzzer. Wow.
Ringing the bell. That's the way to close the quarter.
He knew exactly how he wanted to do it, too. There was no doubt in his mind that it was going to fall.
And so it's Seattle finishing the quarter. And if you're just tuning in. We've got a wide margin on the scoreboard, but plenty of time left for a comeback. And let's quickly break down the game we've seen from Seattle. Guys?
I mean, offensively, I thought they did a good job of protecting the ball and defensively.
Whoa! From way out there!
It drops. Okay.
That's a dozen straight points coming off the triple.
And so Orlando again turning it over. They couldn't put the pieces together, losing that last matchup with Boston.
Hey, they had their opportunities, but let's face it, they choked from the line. Hard to win that way on the road.
Yeah, missing from the line became contagious. That happens. They just picked the worst time to do it.
Here's Lewis. He had a career game last time out, bucket after bucket. Just 5 on the clock. Latrey, the shot that time. Not on target. And now the first timeout called here for the Magic.
Trying to find some answers offensively.
Yeah, they need to regroup and maybe try and draw something up that can get them a clean look at the basket.
Always delivering outstanding entertainment. One more time, let's hear it for the 407 dance team.
Turn it over. They couldn't get it in bounds that time.
It's an inbound violation. The ball goes to the away team.
Got it up. And so it's Seattle, rolling along with a 27-point lead as we wrap up the quarter. The scoring has been tremendous, and they are shooting lights out with very high accuracy. And don't go away. We'll be right back.
And fellas, when you're enjoying an NBA game here on 2K Sports, what really puts it over the top?
It's a tough.
Now let's talk about that first half. It's been a runaway success for the visiting team. That is more than enough.
And with a big gap on the scoreboard, the second half begins with very different goals for these teams. One side trying to mount a comeback, one side trying to protect their lead. Seattle has gone 7 of 10 shooting from three-point land tonight. Excellent numbers from outside. On the court for Seattle. They've got Lewis, and it's Nash in at the 5 spot. Wagner with it. Out of bounds. Seattle will take possession.
Ball goes to the away team.
Here's a look at the schedule for the Orlando Magic. On Monday, they'll host the Boston Celtics. Then on Wednesday, they'll be matching up against Giannis Antetokounmpo and the Milwaukee Bucks. Here's Lewis. 30 points in the game. Launches it. And again... Seattle with the triple.
And with the lead, I like the strategy here. Continue to get the ball to guys who can do something with it.
This is when good players really get after it. He can sense that they're reeling, and he's going to put his foot on the pedal.
Now a timeout called by Orlando.
Things not going their way, and he wants to just try to talk this one over.
Good timeout if you ask me. They have the momentum, and Coach wants to find a way to try and stop it.
What a throw! Give it up again for the 407 dance team. Time for the 407. Come on, everybody.
Time called here. The Magic decide to talk it over.
And they've been very loose with the ball here. They haven't been as patient. And taking a technical there is the last thing you want to do. The opposite of smart basketball.
Seattle shooting their first free throw tonight. Seattle has gone 2 of 2 from long range in the third quarter so far. Lewis gets the bucket. And a big mental mistake as they get called for the timeout when they had none remaining. And they're going to pay for it with maybe the rarest of technical fouls.
And guys, you know that during the last timeout, the guys are all reminded and reminding each other, hey, we don't have any left. What a huge error.
Certainly, Greg, not one we see very often, but it does happen. His mind was diverted on other things, I guess, not the timeout situation for sure. Lewis against Wagner. Fires away from way outside. The long distance. Three is buried. Lewis has got 42 in the game. And the turnover again by Orlando.
Another miscalculation. They are really their own worst enemy right now. It's why they find themselves way behind.
He gets it up, and that one released in time, but no good. And so it's Seattle with a huge lead at the break. Safe to say there's no catching them today. They've been playing. And let's go back to a terrific pass that we're calling tonight our State Farm assist of the game.
And the winner today, the big fella here. The sweetest of dimes. What a plus it is to have a post player who's got this ability to taking a technical there is the last thing you want to do. The opposite of smart basketball.
And a chance to catch up on some numbers here. The scoring breakdown for Seattle.
Their offense has been a well-oiled machine. They're moving the ball around, playing for one another, and just piling up assists.
And taking a technical there is the last thing you want to do. The opposite of smart basketball.
You've heard people say it's a make or miss league. Does that hold true?
It seems so, right? Shooting percentages correlate more with winning than possession stats. Like turnovers or offensive rebounds. And taking a technical there is the last thing you want to do. The opposite of smart basketball.
Greg, a lot more awareness in the league about the importance of mental health. Why is that so necessary?
I mean, Kevin, the level of stress now has really grown. These players are under this huge microscope that now often extends to their families. And it's such a highly competitive environment. And taking a technical there is the last thing you want to do. The opposite of smart basketball. And they're drawing more whistles and working their way to the line here in the second half.
Here's Lewis diving in.
Oh, dynamic two-hand jam.
And right in the face of the defender. And so here's Orlando. The Celtics will be coming into town for the next game. And that will be the middle game of this three-game.
And taking a technical there is the last thing you want to do. The opposite of smart basketball.
For Seattle, they've gone 2 of 4 from the field since we started the final quarter of play. Nash with the screen on Wagner. Lewis with the 3. And again, Seattle with the triple.
Yeah, great outside shooting, really fueling this run.
And so Orlando again turning it over.
And taking A technical there is the last thing you want to do. The opposite of smart basketball.
Well, players certainly have become comfortable, Richard, asking for trades. Has it become too commonplace?
It doesn't happen too much in general. I just think a lot of times it's the stars, and so it becomes a lot bigger. So if we're going to say players, make sure we point out the stars, but loyalty is a two-way street. I remember Blake Griffin signing a 5-year contract with the Clippers, and then next thing you know, he was traded.
Awesome rewind, courtesy of the AT&T 5G Slam Game. You guessed it. We're going to have a technical foul here. They tried to call a timeout, but already had used all of them. I think just lost track of the situation.
And really a complete lack of awareness. Seemed to have no idea they were out of timeouts.
A good point, Greg. It is. He just lost focus completely. Didn't have his head in the game at all at that moment. Lewis outside. Shoots the three. They get it again. Robinson Earl, the pass to Lewis. And got it! Another basket.
And he's up to 52 points.
Yeah, making a GA look all too easy right now. Out of bounds. Seattle will take possession. And the officials are calling a technical foul here. You don't see this too often, but they tried to call for a timeout when they had none left.
And guys, you know that during the last timeout, the guys are all reminded and reminding each other, hey, we don't have any left. What a huge error.
Certainly, Greg, not one we see very often, but it does happen. His mind was...
And taking a technical there is the last thing you want to do. The opposite of smart basketball.
We love the fact that the NBA is constantly evolving. Greg, what have you thought of the recent schedule adjustments?
I think the league's done a great job cutting down on the back-to-backs. And also, I like these two-game, like, baseball-style series we've seen. Limiting travel helps big time.
He found his groove right away and hasn't let up. It's not surprising that he's leading the way on offense.
Out of bounds. Seattle will take possession.
And taking a technical there is the last thing you want to do. The opposite of smart basketball.
Seattle has gone 4-7 with the long ball here in the fourth quarter. Now Lewis fires from way outside. And again, Seattle with the triple.
And they're getting their points now almost exclusively from the triple. 4 of their last 5 makes are from beyond the arc.
You guessed it, we're going to have a technical foul here. They tried to call a timeout, but already had used all of them. I think just lost track of the situation.
And really a complete lack of awareness. Seemed to have no idea they were out of timeouts.
A good point, Greg. It is. He just lost focus completely. Didn't have his head in the game at all at that.
Oh, wow! That is powerful.
My goodness. That was absolutely filthy.
Nasty. This building is stunned. He dug deep, Greg, into it.
And taking a technical there is the last thing you want to do. The opposite of smart basketball.
We've seen players criticized for skipping their media obligations after tough losses, Greg.
Clark, being that we're early in the season, what would you say to teams that have gotten off to rough starts?
Well, I think you got to keep your eye on the big picture, Brian. I mean, the season has just started, and there's plenty of time to get things right. No reason to panic. You got to stay even-keeled.
Now the starting group for the visitors. Amir Coffey out there with Jeremiah Robinson Earl. And it's Lewis in at the 1. 29 seconds left in the first quarter of the game. Pass to Coffey. Here's Lewis. Last game, an incredible scoring display for him. And there's the rejection. And the ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by Wagner. And it's time to take another look at that powerful block.
A defensive play like that early in the game can go a long way. Establishes an attitude that you want to have during the game.
Out of bounds. The ball goes to the away team.
Here's Lewis. Knocks it down from distance. Lewis has got 8.
Starting to find his rhythm. He's cooking, and he knows it.
And you know what? They're going to keep using him. I mean, he'll be the centerpiece of their offense today. You can bank on that.
That'll count. Ooh, he drains the 3, but let's see. They may need to review it. I'm not sure the ball was out of his hand in time.
The previous play is under review.
Question, did he get the basket off in time or not?
And I couldn't tell exactly what happened. And apparently, I guess the refs didn't get a clear look at it either. They have to get it right because this is a big moment.
After the review, the ruling on the floor is overturned.
NBA replay center is the caucus. We've got the time right here, so they're making sure they got it right.
And as the first quarter wraps up, already a double-digit lead. Up 11, and back in a moment as we'll get underway with quarter number 2. And if you're just tuning in, we've got a wide margin on the scoreboard, but plenty of time left for a comeback. And what do you guys think about the visitors here in this one?
Give it up for their D. They're battling, communicating, and coming up with key stops.
They've got them rattled. It's only the first quarter, and already they've made enough big plays on defense to last really an entire game.
They've got Jeremiah Robinson Earl. He's out there with Amir Coffey. And it's Nash in at the 5, roaming the paint. And now looking at the 2K leaderboard. Here's a view of which teams last year got after it with their shot blocking.
They built a reputation around the league last season. Do not test them at the rim. And they did a good job of getting stops when they needed them. But then they had some lapses that caused them to give up runs. I think it's just a matter of focus for this team.
And as you said, a great year for them on the glass. They battled down low. Orlando calls timeout. Grant, it's fair to say this Magic team is still coming into its own as far as the youth on the roster.
Yeah, not a lot of NBA service time up in.
Hey, there's never a good time to slip up like that, but especially with the game still hanging in the balance.
For the 407.
Seattle has gone 3 of 3 from outside here in this one. There's a screen. Here's Lewis. Three-pointer, no good.
Hey, there's never a good time to slip up like that, but especially with the game still hanging in the balance.
Shooting the technical free throw.
Visitors with the ball. No. quick three.
In the first quarter, he was killing them from outside. But he can't get it going here. Hey, there's never a good time to slip up like that, but especially with the game still hanging in the balance.
Showing more aggression here in the second quarter. He's seeking contact and working himself to the line.
Seattle has gone 0 for 2 from outside in the second quarter. Oh, hey, how about
Big
that?
time right there. Big time.
Woo. Ooh, an incredible double clutch dunk.
Filthy. I mean, just the arena is stunned.
He's got a deep bag of tricks to dig into.
Boy, I'd love to get a replay. Hey, there's never a good time to slip up like that, but especially with the game still hanging in the balance.
For Seattle, they've gone just 1 of 3 to begin the second quarter. Launches it from deep. Lively grabs the miss. It's stolen. Here's Nash. And the first shot of the night for him, missing.
Boy, he knows he's...
Hey, there's never a good time to slip up like that, but especially with the game still hanging in the balance.
Got it up. Oh, he beats the buzzer just in time. Wow.
Big time bucket, I'll tell you. Great clock management there.
An ideal way to end the quarter with momentum on your side.
And so it's Seattle, sitting on a comfortable 21-point lead at the end of the quarter. It hasn't taken them too many shots to get their points. They're winning with efficiency. Back after this.
The way this has looked, this must feel like a shoot-around to them. They're jogging to spots and getting open. I think...
And looking ahead. And that'll do it for us.
And there wasn't too much drama in the first half, but maybe things will tighten up here in the second. Here's Orlando. Next matchup, they'll be at home against the Celtics. It'll be the second of...
Hey, there's never a good time to slip up like that, but especially with the game still hanging in the balance.
Seattle has got 4 of 7 threes to go so far in this game. Jeremiah Robinson-Earl is out there with Amir Coffey, and it's Lewis in at the point guard position. From the arc, and score it. That now makes him 7 for 11 in this game.
Yeah, he's in his bag from beyond the arc right now. You see his confidence.
Yeah, I'd be confident too. As a matter of fact, you stack it. Hey, there's never a good time to slip up like that, but especially with the game still hanging in the balance.
The visitors with the ball. When this game is done, they'll be off to Toronto, taking on the Raptors. That'll wrap up this short 2-game road trip. Oh, he dialed that one up from long distance. Lewis has got 29 points. Here's Orlando. Now we're going to have a technical foul here. They tried to call timeout, but had already used them all. They just lost track of the situation.
What? What is he doing? He's got to know they're out of timeouts. Huge mental lapse. What an unnecessary technical.
Boy, you know he's going to hear about that one in the locker room. Not his finest moment.
They're starting to pull away here as their shots keep falling.
Yeah, I agree with you. A big run taking place right now, and looks to be the beginning of the end. Hey, there's never a good time to slip up like that, but especially with the game still hanging in the balance.
Here's Lewis. Fires from way outside. Out of bounds. It'll be Orlando's ball.
Substitution.
Hey, there's never a good time to slip up like that, but especially with the game still hanging in the balance.
And so it's Seattle with zero pressure as they hold on to a 35-point advantage. And they've racked up a ton of... And it's time to bring up the State Farm assist of the game.
And I'll tell you what, this was a no-brainer tonight. Take a look at the precision on this feed. Couldn't place it any better.
Served him up a tasty room service dime right there, boy.
And there have been two very different performances from these teams today as we get going in quarter number 4. We've got Amir Coffey, also Jeremiah Robinson-Earl out there, and it's Nash in at the 5 down low. We always see trends.
Hey, there's never a good time to slip up like that, but especially with the game still hanging in the balance.
Around the league, we're increasingly seeing former players in front office positions, Grant.
It's so true, B.A., and we need even more former players in those roles. They bring a perspective that a lot of front offices just don't have. They can add value with their experience. I really like this move. You live for nights like this when it's all working and the rim looks so huge.
And here's a look at what's coming up for the Orlando Magic. On Monday, they'll host the ball.
Hey, there's never a good time to slip up like that, but especially with the game still hanging in the balance.
And really strong.
Hey, there's never a good time to slip up like that, but especially with the game still hanging in the balance.
And a big mental mistake as they called timeout when they had none remaining.
Hey, there's never a good time to slip up like that, but especially with the game still hanging in the balance.
Oh, the officials are calling a technical foul here.
Hey, there's never a good time to slip up like that, but especially with the game still hanging. Hey, there's never a good time to slip up like that, but especially with the game still hanging in the balance.
And a big mental mistake as they called timeout when they had none.
Hey, there's never a good time to slip up like that, but especially with the game still hanging in the balance.
Now we're going to have a technical foul here. They tried to call timeout.
Hey, there's never a good time to slip up like that, but especially with the game still hanging in the. Hey, there's never a good time to slip up like that, but especially with the game still hanging in the balance.
Here's Lewis, and another one.
My goodness, 50 for the game.
Just putting on a show.
Out of bounds. Ball goes to the away
And a big mental mistake as they called timeout when they had none remaining. And they'll pay for it with maybe the rarest of technical fouls.
A total lack of awareness there. Didn't seem to know they were out of timeouts. You don't expect to see that at this level.
Grant, he just completely lost his concentration, I think. Should have been paying better attention at that moment. Out of bounds.
Up next for Orlando. Welcome, folks. Here's a look at the schedule for the Magic. On Monday, they'll host the Boston Celtics. And then on Wednesday, they'll be matching up against Giannis Antetokounmpo and the Milwaukee Bucks. Let's check out Seattle's starting lineup. They've got Nash, and it's Coffey in at the 3. And for the Magic, Suggs out there with Wagner. Then there's Herrera, and it's Lively in at the 5 spot. Well, how long does all of your off-season rest usually last you at the start of the regular season? Like, when do you start to really feel the games again?
You know, the fatigue comes at you fast, Kevin. So that rested feeling only lasts about a couple weeks. Nothing wears you out like playing NBA ball.
Now, here's Nash. Herrera grabs the board. And the Magic can't hold on to the ball.
Ball goes to the away team.
Seattle has gone 1 of 2 from long range in the first quarter. Lewis gets the bucket.
Good way to start this game. You want to get him rolling as early as possible.
He's a guy who, if he gets hot, he can carry your offense for long stretches.
There's the 3. Misses. That one, his first miss of the night, 2 for 3. Out of bounds. Seattle will take possession.
Ball goes to the away team.
.11 seconds left in the first quarter. And an incredible double clutch dunk. Wow.
Wow, and that sort of showmanship is just deflating right now to a team trying to get back into a game like this.
Ouch, Greg, that is definitely an emphasis jam. A big apostrophe or exclamation point, maybe even a question mark. Oh, and the buzzer beater's good.
Big time shot to beat the buzzer there. My goodness.
Well, that's the perfect end to the quarter for them. You have no idea.
And so it's Seattle with a 10-point lead. Some breathing room heading into the break. Defensively, they have gotten after it, contesting every shot going up. We'll return shortly. And welcome back to the second quarter of action. Plenty of basketball left to play, but this one has been one-sided so far. And let's quickly break down the game we've seen from Seattle. Guys?
Well, look at the turnover ratio, then look at the score. Easy to see what happened in that first period.
Offensively, they took care of the ball. And defensively, they forced a number of miscues.
We've got Suggs. He's out there with Wagner. And it's Herrera in at the 3, the small forward. That's who's out there for Orlando.
Lewis.
Sinks the three-pointer. Lewis has got 15 points.
It's first triple of the second quarter, third of the game. And this is like another case of Murphy's Law right now, and it's been their own doing, really, just like we saw there.
And another 3 for Seattle.
And that makes it 2 3-pointers in the quarter so far and 4 for the game.
And here's Seattle. They've got an 8-0 run. Sinks the triple.
Yeah, great outside shooting, really fueling this run.
And so Orlando again turning it over. Off the inbound pass. Good. On the three-point shot. Lewis has got 24.
And so many teams now look to establish the perimeter to set up everything else.
No doubt it's a growing trend, Greg, and he is highly accurate tonight.
Fires the three, and again. And Seattle with the triple.
And you know what? They've been on a nice run here, had the ability to widen the gap.
And the coach's challenge has been triggered here. Coach wants a review of the out-of-bounds violation.
And you know these types of plays, especially,
The previous play is under review.
you can get a much better perspective of on replay than real game speed.
We've got the benefit of new camp.
The ruling on the floor is confirmed.
With the fidelity and angles that we've got access to now. So we just got word from the NBA Replay Center via the official courtside administrator.
Timeout.
And the original call will stand for the out-of-bounds violation.
You know, and some people might argue, hey, we're stopping the game. But this uses up a timeout, so that's technically already a break that could happen. Regardless of the call, staying the same.
Now a timeout called by Orlando.
And with their offense sputtering, coaches got to get them back on track.
And to me, they're just taking too many tough shots. And when they do get an easy one, the confidence just isn't there.
Here we are, the T-shirt. Make some noise. All right, everyone.
Going the other way. Can they find some answers?
I think here you have just got to get back to what you do.
And taking a technical there is the last thing you want to do. The opposite of smart basketball.
Seattle shooting their first foul shot of the night. For Seattle, they've gotten all of their first 6 shots to go in here in the second. What a quarter so far. He got it up, and he was able to put it up in time, but doesn't fall.
But just incredible heads-up defensive play there by Wagner. Make an impact.
And so it's Seattle in complete command. Their lead at 28 points going into the break. The three-point shooting has come fast and furious to the tune of what has become a big-time blowout in progress. Don't go.
Taking a look here now at the Magic. First game of the year was a big L. Tonight could be a different story. Just got to bring the SLM.
And now let's talk about our game at hand. What a first half for the visiting team.
Very comfortable.
And that's all for us.
One more time, fans.
And as we dive into the second half, we'll find out if the next 2 quarters are any different from the first 2. So far, it has been a runaway. Seattle has gone 7 of 10 shooting from three-point land tonight.
And taking a technical there is the last thing you want to do. The opposite of smart basketball.
For Seattle, they have gone 1 for 1, making their previous attempt at the line.
And one of the highlights last year for this group was the fact that they were so efficient from the charity stripe. That's a huge factor. And obviously his momentum from the last game has carried over here tonight.
No, I think
and taking a technical there is the last thing you want to do. The opposite of smart basketball.
Seattle shooting their 3rd free throw shot of the game. Seattle has gone 1 of 2 from beyond the arc since coming out of the break. And it's going to be out of bounds. The Magic will take it.
And taking a technical there is the last thing you want to do. The opposite of smart basketball.
For Seattle, they have gone 3 for 3 at the line tonight. Here's Lewis. 30 points in the game. Didn't think that was going to go in. Lewis has got 33 points.
Always a threat. Three-point land that time was seriously. And taking a technical there is the last thing you want to do. The opposite of smart basketball.
Seattle shooting their 5th attempt at the line in the game. Seattle with the ball. They're rolling here with a 9-point run. From deep three-point land, connects again. From distance, buries his 10th triple of the game.
Unbelievable.
And the turnover again by Orlando. Big group substitution here for Seattle. And a big mental mistake as they get called for the timeout when they had none remaining. And they're going to pay for it with maybe the rarest of technical fouls.
And really a complete lack of awareness. Seemed to have no idea they were out of timeouts.
A good point, Greg. It is. He just lost focus completely. Didn't have his head in the game at all at that moment. You guessed it, we're going to have a technical foul here. They tried to call a timeout, but already had used all of them. I think just lost track of the situation.
And guys, you know that during the last timeout, the guys are all reminded and reminding each other, hey, we don't have any left. What a huge error.
Certainly, Greg, not one we see very often, but it does happen. His mind was...
And taking a technical there is the last thing you want to do. The opposite of smart basketball.
For Seattle, they have made 6 of their 7 attempts at the line in this one. 9 seconds left to play in the third. Drills the three-pointer.
And they have been relentless from deep. And you see the defense trying to react and take a technical there is the last thing you want to do. The opposite of smart basketball.
For Seattle, they have been good at the free throw line in this one, 7 of 8. Just 4 seconds left in the third.
And taking a technical there is the last thing you want to do. The opposite of smart basketball.
For Seattle, they have knocked down 8 of 9 free throw attempts. I'd say those numbers read pretty well. Up in time, and the last second attempt does not go in for him. And so it's Seattle holding an unbelievable lead as the... And a moment now as we take a look at our State Farm assists of the game.
And how about the floor generalship right here? I mean, showing us why they're always in good hands when he's the man in charge.
Well, this is exactly what you're looking for from your point guard. Survey the floor, serve it up.
And taking the technical there is the last thing you want to do. The opposite of smart basketball.
Doris, we're in the age of podcasts and social media, and we hear more than ever from the players, even right after games.
Kevin, I think that's probably the only danger, right? When oh, that's unbelievable.
That is a product of pure effort, guys.
I agree, and that's nothing new coming from him, GA. He loves going to work on the rebounding, going to work.
And taking a technical there is the last thing you want to do. The opposite of smart basketball.
And let's quickly check out the scoring breakdown here for Seattle.
Guys, the D hasn't had an answer for the three-point shooting, which is why they continue to just fire away from deep.
I think it's also important we have to acknowledge how many scoring opportunities.
And taking A technical there is the last thing you want to do. The opposite of smart basketball. And they're drawing more whistles and working their way to the line here in the second half.
Both teams deciding to change it up. Wagner against Lewis. Over to the left wing. Coffee passes to Lewis. Lets it go from deep. Here's Nash. The layup missed.
Well, this has not...
Taking a technical there is the last thing you want to do. The opposite of smart basketball.
For Seattle, they've gone just 1 of 6 from the field to start the fourth quarter. A bit of a slowdown for them right now.
Assists like that have typified their effort today. Terrific ball movement.
Seattle with the ball. 9 points in a row. Good run for him right now. Lewis attacking, and he dunks it down.
And you know what? This guy is just a natural-born scorer.
On offense, here are the men. Celtics will be coming into town for the next game. They'll find themselves in the middle of this string of 3 straight at home. From the arc, and again, Seattle with the triple.
The defense is far too slow to close out on those 3-point attempts.
And the turnover again by Orlando. And the double clutch jam wows the crowd. Woo.
That is not possible. What we just, is that possible?
I think it is, Greg. Not probable, but like possible, like you said. And it's Seattle with the ball. Connects again. And that gives him 51.
Making it look easy.
Well, all night he has made an impact at the offensive end. Now he's trying to shut the door.
Puts up a deep 3. Good, he hits again.
And he's been dominant here thus far.
Shouldering the offense, GA, really taking it to the opposition.
And taking a technical there is the last thing you want to do. The opposite of smart basketball.
Puts up a deep 3. It's called in by the Magic. Lively's got his 4th rebound with that last one here tonight. Out of bounds. Seattle will take
taking a technical there is the last thing you want to do. The opposite of smart basketball.
Lewis against Wagner. And again. And he's been absolutely ridiculous in this game.
You get the sense he just can't miss.
Out of bounds. Seattle will take possession.
And taking a technical there is the last thing you want to do. The opposite of smart basketball.
Lewis with it. A strong finish. Under heavy pressure all over. Lewis has got 58.
And defensively, guys, they've been unable to shut down the middle. And taking a technical there is the last thing you want to do. The opposite of smart basketball.
From deep three-point land. Sinks it. What range from outside. Wow.
Now he's just showing off. With range like that, incredible.
Out of bounds. Seattle will take possession.
And taking a technical there is the last thing you want to do. The opposite of smart basketball.
Here's Lewis. Another bucket. Wow.
And this game has his.
This is the back end of this back-to-back, Smitty. What was that like playing in these games?
Difficult. Playing in NBA games takes so much energy. You usually use a day to recover. Recharge. So you got to dig deep tonight.
Now the starting group for the visitors. Jeremiah Robinson Earl is out there with Amir Coffey, and it's Lewis in at the one.
Defensively, you have to stay connected to him on the perimeter.
The ball goes to the away team.
Here's Nash. The three, always a nice way to start, makes his first one.
Aside from the rim runners in this league, most bigs are now asked to help stretch the floor.
Here's Suggs.
Out of bounds. The ball goes to the away team.
Seattle has gone 2 of 2 at the perimeter. Here's Lewis. We saw him go on a scoring rampage last game. He was unstoppable.
Now you want to get him going as soon as possible. Great way for him to start this game.
And we know once he gets in the rhythm, he's a really tough guy to stop.
From deep three-point range, he got it up in time, but it would not fall for him. And so it's Seattle with a great to have you with us. Second quarter of basketball. This game has not exactly been neck and neck, but plenty of time left in this one. And what do you guys think about the visitors here in this one?
Just excellent first quarter defense. They've been really getting after it.
Yeah, they were very physical and very aggressive. They've just been the better team so far.
The ball goes to the away team.
Seattle has gone 3 of 5 from the perimeter in this game. They've got Jeremiah Robinson Earl. He's out there with Amir Coffey. And it's Lewis in at the point guard position. And for Orlando.
That's what happens when nothing goes your way. You start to lose focus, and it makes matters worse.
Seattle has gone 1 of 2 from deep in the second quarter. A deep three. The long distance three is buried. Lewis has got 6 points in the quarter.
And now he's dropped 2 3-pointers in each quarter.
The ball goes to the away team.
For Seattle, they've got 2 of 3 shots to go in the second. Let's go with a three. Gets the three to fall. Lewis has got 15 points.
He's been so aggressive on offense, and with the results, you understand why.
You know why? Success breeds confidence, and he's certainly been successful from there, time and time again.
From deep, an absolute bomb from three-point range. 18 points for him.
Away team ball.
And we're now about a minute into this second quarter of play. And no good. Trying to get that one to fall. And so it's Seattle, sitting on a comfortable 21-point lead at the end of the quarter. Their efficiency has been off the charts. They're running their sets well with patience and purpose. All right, stick around. We'll be right back after this.
You look at Seattle, starting the season with 2 straight dubs, man. You know they want to keep that momentum going.
And back to the matchup at hand. Everything has been going smoothly for the visiting team. That's it for us. Thanks for...
And with a big gap on the scoreboard, the second half begins with very different goals for these teams. One side trying to mount a comeback, one side trying to protect their lead. We've got Amir Coffey, also Jeremiah Robinson Earl out there. And it's Nash in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. And down it goes. Dunked it through off a beautiful setup.
That was a clever move, slicing his way past the taller defender and finishing with some flavor.
Impressive looks on the AT&T 5G Slam Cam.
The ball goes to the away team.
Here's Lewis, defended by Wagner. Here's Lewis. Give him 20. Releases from the wing and drills it. Lewis has got 22.
And he was dominant in their last outing. And the same thing here tonight. He is in a terrific groove right now.
Here's the thing. He's a guy who will go on hot streaks for you over a number of games.
Nails it from beyond the arc.
And this is what you want to do when you've got a big lead. You must stay aggressive.
I'm impressed with their intensity tonight. They've came in focused and they've executed.
16 seconds left to play in the third quarter here.
Out of bounds. Away team ball.
The visitors with the ball. Nails it from three. Lewis has got 13 in the second half.
They are unconscious from outside. And so far, the defense has had no answer.
You know what? They talked about this at halftime, and they're doing a better job of creating space.
Good! Another from three. Buries his 10th triple of the game.
Unbelievable.
Got it off in time. Yes, he did!
Right,
it is good!
Oh, what a miraculous shot. He's going to remember that one.
I didn't think that shot had any chance of going in.
And so it's Seattle, destroying the competition as they end the quarter with a colossal 40-point lead. A big difference in shooting percentages. That's why they lead. We're coming right back. Don't go anywhere. Well, there may not be a lot of drama down the stretch as we head into the fourth quarter, but stranger things have happened. Smitty, you had your fair share of deep playoff runs. What was it like to finally break through and win a championship in 2003?
PA was an unbelievable feeling. Getting a chance to win the championship with that Spurs team was unbelievable. Had some Hall of Fame players, but more importantly, some Hall of Fame people.
Amir Coffey out there with Jeremiah Robinson-Earl. And it's Lewis in at the point.
All 5 of the last buckets they've given up have been from downtown.
Out of bounds. The ball goes to the away team.
A three off the inbound. Connects again. And from distance.
He's been on the money from deep.
Definitely looking to shoot as much as possible. From downtown, buries it. From three. Lewis has got 46.
And he's not taking it easy on them at all. I mean, we all know he's going to keep pouring it on.
I mean, defensively, if you have any hope of coming back in this game, you can't afford to give him those looks.
Off the inbound pass. Knocks down the long. Jay. Lewis has got 49 in the game.
I just love the ball move.
The ball goes to the away team.
Puts up a deep three again. What an avalanche.
That's 52 points for him.
Making it all look too easy right now.
Ball goes to the away team.
Fires for three. Counted from distance.
Three.
Lewis has got 55.
A dozen consecutive points off of threes. This defense looks rattled.
Here's Lewis. Sinks it. What range from downtown? Lewis has got 58.
They're simply not missing. Unreal.
Good shooting can be contagious. You see the confidence running through this team right now.
Tries a three off the inbound. On target. From range.
Here in the second half, they've just found better shots.
For them, the first half was maybe more of a filling out process. Now it's winning time.
From from deep three-point land. And again.
And this game has his name written all over it.
He has been phenomenal. An offensive onslaught.
The ball goes to the away team.
Long range from the inbound. Another possession. Another assist. That's another dime from him.
He's tallying them up fast, B.A.
Out of bounds. Away team ball.
A deep three. Oh, connects again.
Welcome to 2K Sports. We have the NBA coming. Here's a look at the schedule for the Orlando Magic. On Monday, they'll host the Boston Celtics. Then on Wednesday, they'll be matching up against Giannis Antetokounmpo and the Milwaukee Bucks. Let's check out Seattle's starting lineup. They've got Lewis, and it's Nash in at the 5. And for Orlando, they've got Wagner. He's out there with Suggs. And it's Herrera in at the out of bounds. Seattle will take possession. And Greg, on paper, this looks like a real mismatch. These teams have very different expectations.
And in any matchup like this, the early stages are important. The team coming in as a big underdog has to keep it close, otherwise things can go south in a hurry.
Lewis with the 3. Nailed. From three-point land. Lewis has got 6 points.
Boy, he is looking confident. I love how they're using him so far.
Yeah, when he gets engaged this early in the game, it's bad news for the defense. He can roll this start throughout the rest of the game.
Good on the quick 3. And the turnover in by Orlando.
Away team ball.
For Seattle, they've gone 2 for 4 from the field so far today. Drains it from beyond the arc.
And off to an incredible start here early from long range.
Lewis has gone 3 for 5, shooting from the floor. Out of bounds. Seattle will take possession. Here's Lewis. He's got 9. Gets it off. Oh, he nails it just in time.
One eye on the rim, one on the clock. What a play.
Boy, and so it's Seattle, enjoying a 12-point lead as they talk things over during the break. They've got their field goal percentage to thank for that. They've been hot from all over the floor tonight. Right back after this break. And so far through one quarter, it's been a lopsided game. We'll see if that changes here in the second. And what do you guys think so far about the offensive approach for Seattle?
They've really been in from deep. This is a team that has a ton of confidence in their outside shooting ability.
And the other thing I love how they're playing up tonight, getting into ball handlers and forcing some turnovers.
Wagner is out there with Suggs. Then there's Herrera, and it's Lively in at the center, locking down the middle. That's the group start the second. quarter for the Magic.
And this is the game plan for him. He's a big part of their floor space.
Yeah, you got to know where he is at all times, especially when he's roaming around the perimeter ready to fire.
Here's Lewis. 18 points separate the teams. That's the biggest lead of the game. So far, we've seen them be a bit careful with the ball.
Simply put, out of control is how they played thus far. They're going to have to reel it in and show some more discipline.
Here's Lewis. Last game, an incredible scoring display for him. Out of bounds. Seattle will take possession. Here he goes. And down it goes, jamming that one home.
Oh, that's straight TNT, baby. Explosive.
That was pretty. And he just has that effortless knack for getting inside. And the turnover again by Orlando.
Yeah, another miscalculation. They are really their own worst enemy right now. It's why they find themselves way behind.
And it's Seattle with the ball. From deep three-point land, what a play! Simply drains it in at the buzzer.
Wow, what a way to finish up the quarter.
Yeah, that's 1-100 type shot. But hey, that is why you just throw it up there.
And so it's Seattle in very good shape with a 23-point lead at the end of the quarter. From the field, they have been outstanding. Amazing shooting. That's what has them headed to a blowout. We'll return shortly.
You know, shout out to the coaching staff. This is a disciplined team right now. This is one of the best I've seen with very few mistakes so far.
And moving along now, let's take a look at some upcoming matchups.
You look at Seattle, starting the season with 2 straight dubs. Man, you know they want to keep.
That is more than enough of.
One more time, fans.
And there wasn't too much drama in the first half, but maybe things will tighten up here in the second. Out of bounds. Seattle will take possession. And in front of you now is a list of the players with the highest shooting percentage last season. On the floor for Seattle, they've got Nash. And it's Robinson Earl in at the power forward. Out of bounds. Seattle will take possession.
And with the moment, let's check out some stats for Nash. Great showing for him last season. Last year averaged 21 points per, 8 rebounds, and over 2.5 blocks. And not many players possess his kind of ability to protect the rim. I mean, you look at the block total, pretty remarkable.
Yeah, we talk so much about players getting hot offensively. Well, he's in that same type of group defensively right now. He is a beast on that end of the floor.
Out of bounds. Seattle will take possession. Here's Lewis. He's got 29 points.
Oh my goodness.
Man, finishes in style with a double clutch jam.
Wow, we are going to remember that one for a while.
I know I will, Greg. That was special. That was really special. Here's Lewis. He has 31. Good on the triple. Lewis has got 11 points here in just the second half.
Whatever adjustments they made at halftime, they are working to perfection.
Oh, yeah, I can't agree more. They haven't missed.
Puts up a deep three and another three for Seattle. Well, a huge bucket there to stifle the crowd.
Yeah, very. Little to cheer about for them at the moment.
17 seconds left in the third quarter. And the turnover again by Orlando.
The ball goes to the away team.
Puts up a deep three. And again for three. He's really sniping them from outside.
Locked in, feeling confident in that three-point shot.
Here's Lewis. And another three for Seattle.
And perimeter scoring. I have to imagine it was a topic of discussion at halftime.
And you see this so much more nowadays in the NBA. Teams putting a larger emphasis on jacking up threes.
Man, they are starting to pull away here as the shots continue to fall.
Yeah, the D is looking helpless to stop them right now. They're doing whatever they want to do on offense.
So it's Seattle, able to put on a show for the ages, and with as many three-pointers as they've drained. And now we have a moment to reveal our State Farm assist of the game.
And he's always been the favorite to bag this honor. These kind of feeds are his bread and butter.
That is why he is a point guard in this league. He has the elite passing ability, the vision. You need both to play the point guard.
And there have been two very different performances from these teams today as we get going in quarter number 4. We got Roy, also Carter out there. McDaniels is out there with Herrera. And it's Long in at the point. That's who's out there for Orlando. Richard, how about this? A lot of guys you played with are still in the league today. Does that affect your analysis of their play?
Oh, 100%. Nothing about me is impartial. If I don't like somebody, I'll say it to them, and I'll say it on TV. No, I'm just kidding, Ken. All kidding aside, I respect all of these guys, not trying to be as fair as possible.
And Seattle making a change here. Mobley's checked in. Now a timeout called by Orlando. Now we know, Richard, you've made your stance on shortening the NBA season very clear. Are you still opposed to the idea?
And taking a technical there is the last thing you want to do. The opposite of smart basketball.
All right, well, a look at how the points have been generated so far. A scoring breakdown for Seattle.
Their offense has been a well-oiled machine. They're moving the ball around, playing for one another, and just handling the assist.
And on top of that, they've really been dialed in from deep, just dropping triple after triple.
Out of bounds. Seattle
and taking a technical there is the last thing you want to do. The opposite opposite of smart basketball.
And that one misses. Robinson Earls checked in for Jamison. Lewis against Wagner. Now here's Lewis, guarded closely. Launches it from deep. And no good that time.
He missed that one, but I've seen him drill shots from that distance in warm-up. Even and taking a technical there is the last thing you want to do. The opposite of smart basketball.
Here's Lewis. We have certainly seen some great MVP races the last few years. Richard, are you satisfied with how the MVP is chosen?
Yeah, Kev, I was happy with it. At the end of the day, there's always going to be...
And taking a technical there is the last thing you want to do. The opposite of smart basketball.
He's upped his aggressiveness, wanting to get to the line more and doing just that.
3 from the inbound. Knocks down the 3 ball. Lewis has got 57 points.
Oh, great ball movement there.
And so Orlando again.
And taking a technical there is the last thing you want to do. The opposite of smart basketball.
The free throw drops for Lewis. Here's Lewis. And yep, on another basket.
Make that 61 points.
Yep, everything is going his way right now. Out of bounds. Seattle will take possession.
And taking a technical there is the last thing you want to do. The opposite of smart basketball. And they're doing a better job of working themselves to the line here in the second half.
Puts up a 3, and again, Seattle with the triple.
He's been the guy tonight. Really impressive performance.
Out of bounds. Seattle will take possession. And the officials are calling a technical foul here. You don't see this too often, but they tried to call for a timeout when they had none left.
And really a complete lack of awareness. Seemed to have no idea they were out of timeouts.
A good point, Greg. It is. He just lost focus completely. Didn't have his head in the game at all at that moment. Out of bounds. Seattle will take possession. You guessed that we're going to have a technical foul here. They tried to call a timeout, but already had used all of them. I think just lost track of the situation.
Yeah, major mental lapse there. He's got to know they're out of timeouts. Just a total unnecessary technique.
You're right, Chief. He won't live that one down easily. Not his proudest moment.
Out of their last 5 makes, how about all 5 from one range?
And a big mental mistake as they get called for the timeout when they had none remaining. And they're going to pay for it with maybe the rarest of technical fouls.
And guys, you know that during the last timeout, the guys are all reminded and reminding each other, hey, we don't have any left. What a huge error.
Certainly, Greg, not one we see very often, but it does happen.
And taking a technical there is the last thing you want to do. The opposite of smart basketball.
Puts up a deep 3 and another 3 for Seattle. So no problem for Seattle as they get the win. To come into an opponent's building and dominate the way they did tonight says, I think, Greg, an awful lot about this team.
I guess they don't want home cooking to feel at home. I mean, Kevin, just a masterful performance all the way around.
And that about wraps it up. This is Kevin Harlan saying thank you for tuning in as we present the New Balance Player of the Game.